Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are building an abandoned gas station. So let's get into it. Just to start this off, yes, the gas station will be a residential lot. And yes, I did get this idea from the ability to use the show hidden objects and the show live edit objects, or whatever those cheats are. I saw a video that Sim Supply, James Turner, released on his channel when the cheats were first made available to us, and I saw this gas station cover, and I thought, hey, you know what would be perfect in Oasis Springs? An abandoned gas station where people have been living in it, underground maybe, or whatnot, and I think that would be totally badass, you know? So the first bit of this video will be me just looking at every single object I never got to use in the game, but now can. With the help of my boyfriend Jordan, we also determined that in the underground bunker area where the people will be living on this lot, there should be a secret room where there's some alien plants or some weird drug type of situation. We kind of thought that that's where they're kind of like they're selling some stuff out of this building, you know? My plan for this strip mall, the row of lots in Oasis Springs that are actually public lots, like the bar and the gym or whatever else, you know? To have a row of abandoned lots where your sim comes and maybe it's just like a rundown bar that looks abandoned on the outside. And kind of a little bit more shady. We wanted a shady street in our world. And I will be working on that and will be releasing more videos to do with this project that I have started. Okay, here I am just going through all the objects. This is one of the first builds where I decided to do it more like a vision board. So I grab every single object I see, I like, I want, that might work in this build, and I just threw it onto the lot. And that's why it's like a vision board. Now I'm going to try to skip a lot of this footage because it is just me being overwhelmed by the build and not wanting to do it and just looking at all the objects I pulled out thinking, what a friggin' mess. And it is a mess. And it's not an organized mess. It is a chaotic mess that needs to be dealt with, and I just did not want to deal with it. And that's why this build is very obviously done in a few days. Actually, it took a while for me to get around to actually completing this build. I wrote a to-do list of all of the houses and builds and things I needed to get done in The Sims, and this one was on the top one because I was initially so excited for it. And my excitement just kind of lowered as I pulled out more and more things and realized, like, hey, you know, there's gonna be a lot here. I also wanted to use some of the cars because I was very excited about using real cars. Like, I know the Sims can't jump in them anytime soon and teach their teen how to drive or woohoo or drive around the town, you know, like you could in previous games. However, the fact that we don't have to use toy or statue cars is amazing, in my opinion. And so off camera, I actually added way more objects to the lot. I had that truck, I had a couple of vans, a couple of worn down vans, the gas station cover, all very cool things. The hydro pole, a couple of outdoor things, a bus shelter, very cool things indeed. And at this point, I kind of figured, okay, it's going to be a mess, let's make it an organized one. And I was kind of organizing everything like, okay, this is outside, this is an indoor thing. And then going even further and like trying to figure out, you know, how I want the lot looking like. Obviously, I don't have the building made yet, but it'll come. It will come. I definitely want it to look like there was a couple worn down cars in the back area and someone like tried to fix it but like left it there. Send me pictures on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, whatever, of your abandoned builds, because I'm very curious if anyone else has actually built lots that are purposely made to look abandoned. Like, I've seen some really funky things on the Sims 4 gallery. I've seen pineapples, I've seen cacti, I have seen buildings that are in shapes of people and dogs, and like skate parks. I've seen witches' towers, castles of all sorts. Man, the castles get crazy on the gallery. Really cool to see. But I have not seen a lot of abandoned things. There's been a lot of cult type things, or living off the grid. But, however, I was hemming and hawing on whether or not this lot should be off the grid. Like, being abandoned, it should be, right? However, it's not, just for, you know, the sake of being inside and having the lights on and everything. I have started a build where it is going to be off the grid because it's going to be a cult who lives there. And I mean, I do have a couple of off the grid lots already, but stay tuned for the cult lot. I used to love making cults in The Sims 2. In fact, my brother would always think it was so weird that I would build a cult and have it the way I did have it. And now I really wanted to match the awning. I wanted to match that shelter. I wanted to give it kind of like a signage area, but in the end I decided it didn't really look the best like that anyways. Now just designing the inside of it. That's where the gas station attendant would be, behind the counter. We got 2 bathrooms. We got a secret door going downstairs because obviously it would be a secret. Maybe the person who built this gas station also made it like a secret bunker for him and his employees, or him and his family, or her family. I don't know why I just automatically use male pronouns. No, there are female gas station owners in the world, and it's freaking amazing. But yeah, so maybe their family or employees had a bunker. Obviously, like in gas station, there's always the wall of drinks, or a couple of walls of drinks, of coolers. And so I wanted to mimic that, and those fridges are just perfect for that look. I wish it was Coca-Cola branded. Coke is my favorite pop. I love it. I like it particularly when it is in a can. Not the biggest fan of pop in general coming from a plastic water bottle. It doesn't taste as good, you know? Does anyone else feel like that? I always thought I was kind of like a little weird with preferring the can of pop like over the plastic water bottle. So I'm very curious on what you guys think. Like, is that weird? Do you guys prefer canned pop? Let me know in the comments, okay? And now I added all that graffiti onto the back. And after a while, I realized, like, okay, well, if this is abandoned, the teens or young adults or people, graffiti artists who do the graffiti probably won't just stay at the back of the building. It should be covered in it. It should be on the outside, it should be on the inside, it should be on the ground, it should be on the walls. Like, people just don't give an F, you know? And B, like, I wish we had some broken glass type of window, because that's what it would look like in real life. I adore putting those objects in the bed of that truck. I think it is very cool. I love the fact that we have trucks that look like that. Because the toy one would just, it had a weird texture on the back there. Like, it obviously didn't lower in the bed, so you couldn't do something like that. But now you can make it look more realistic. And so adding the counters behind the counter with the cash register there. Very cool stuff. ATM, obviously, right? Because this is a gas station. There's always ATMs in them. I thought that was perfect. And I know there's a bar for Strangerville, but I think that is the most perfect friggin' counter for this abandoned gas station. Like, it's already a little, you know, rough looking, so it being abandoned makes sense. Like, nobody wants to come here. And the dirty floors and everything, man, I'm happy. I don't know why I kept that bathtub full of plants. Like, that's probably not something you'd see. And I decided to add posters on that side because it's still a bus shelter right there. And so I figured like people would still be using that bus shelter. But I don't know. And advertisements are always on the sides of gas stations. They're like, gas stations are just like a building filled with advertisements all over their windows, all over their walls, on the outside. Like, there's signage. It's very clear that there is signage, you know? And so I had to make that realistic. I have the cupcake, the burger, and the coffee sign because I was like, okay, gas stations near me, they have normally coffee. I mean, I normally don't have burgers, although I do know of some gas stations with A&W inside of it, and that's kind of interesting. So maybe, like, I don't know, but normally gas stations have that convenient hot dog area. You can get like cheap hot dogs. I don't know how good those hot dogs are, but it is what it is. Some people love them, some people don't. And finally adding that graffiti now inside the building. At this point, the lot was going to be off the grid. That's why the lights are turned off, and I changed the trait of the building, adding some worn down posters, because why not? Just going through all of the wall decorations and what I could put up. I quite enjoyed this build though, like a lot. I thought the big billboard in the back was sort of cute in here because it had the UFO and like somebody going up and an alien and everything. I was like, that's quirky, let's do it. But now as I'm watching this video, there's literally the same billboard right off in the distance to the right. I wish I was more observant when I was making those lot. I would have changed it, but that's okay. Maybe that company just paid extra to have real good billboard advertisement in this area. I don't know. Anywho, thank you for watching part 1 of our Oasis Springs abandoned gas station build. If you want to see more build related stuff, check out my Instagram and the Sims 4 gallery under the name Catchy Virus. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you for part 2. Bye!